right, let's talk about Bitcoin price analysis with Marcus Sotiriou, market analyst at GlobalBlock, a UK-based publicly listed crypto trading platform. Hello there, Marcus. So we're taking a look at the traditional markets. They're down. Bitcoin is slightly up, and the Fed wants to shrink the balance sheet. What's your Bitcoin outlook?
Well, I think that even though we heard Brainard talk today, one of the people on the Federal Reserve Board, and she spoke about this, faster tightening, but I think it was actually quite bullish from Brainard in terms of even though we heard, we heard her reaffirm that we need to get inflation under control. It's nothing that we haven't heard before, and she actually said one of the things that hasn't been, pointed out is that they want to raise rates steadily and methodically, and it seems as though she confirmed that they plan to raise rates by 25 basis points, and which isn't the case for what the market is actually predicting. The market's pricing in a 70% chance of a 50 basis point hike in May, and I think that I don't think they will. I think it will continue to be a 25 basis point hike. Jerome Powell has said that he aims to carry out a monetary policy where it's similar to 2004. In 2004, we raised rates 17 times by 25 basis points, and I think that it will continue on this steady path. And I don't think the Fed wants to actually shock the markets. So that's my outlook, and I think is actually bullish what Brainard came out with today.
All right, you're bullish. So one would think that if they are bringing down inflation, when do you think that'll actually have an impact? But if inflation comes down, then maybe the argument as buying up Bitcoin as an inflation hedge doesn't hold up as well. You would think that perhaps Bitcoin may go down, but it's actually going up.
Yeah, well, of course, we've seen this correlation to risk on assets with these macro headwinds. And I think that it will cause Bitcoin to struggle to get to, all-time highs this year. But I think that in the long term, when the Federal Reserve does turn back to accommodative, I think, crypto and, certain businesses that are expanding in the technology sector are going to rise exponentially. I'm a true believer that, crypto assets in general are, going to be some of the most, going to perform as some of the best assets over the coming years. So even though, Bitcoin and crypto might struggle for, say over the next 6 to 12 months to, truly break all-time highs, I think that, a long-term dollar cost averaging strategy could potentially be beneficial.
All right. In the meantime, we're seeing some development on the Bitcoin Lightning Network. Also, more investment from MicroStrategy. They've accumulated now almost $6 billion worth of Bitcoin. So I wonder what you're seeing on the institutional front and what your long-term view on Bitcoin is.
Well, yeah, of course, we've seen MicroStrategy continue to accumulate. They've bought over 5 billion. Well, their Bitcoin holdings is now worth over 5 billion. And we're seeing more and more institutions start to integrate Bitcoin into their businesses. Even like one of the biggest gas and oil companies in the world, Exxon, we saw that the other day. They even integrated it into the plan to integrate a Bitcoin gas to mining system. So we're seeing this, institutional backing for Bitcoin and also as a payment system. So I think that really installs this sense of longevity. Even countries starting to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. Obviously, we see in El Salvador do it. So now we're seeing not only institutions backing Bitcoin, but we've also got governments on a national scale actually starting to adopt Bitcoin. So I'm a true believer that Bitcoin's going to the network is going to expand massively over the next five to 10 years, and I think that Bitcoin can reach upwards of $500,000 in the next 5 to 10 years due to its the expansion of the network.